Hey guys, what is up? It's Jack here again with another video. I've just got off a call with a guy called Justin Wilkins. Justin is a property investor. He's based down south, and we've been chatting a little bit over social media and thought it'd be cool to do a little video together where I just kind of interview slash it's fairly informal, just chat about his experience with property investing. So hope you enjoy it. We're just kind of chatting over Zoom a little bit about his experience. He's also got a YouTube channel where he documents what he's doing, the projects he's got going on, the lessons he's learning, and it's really valuable stuff. I watch every single one of his videos, so make sure that you go over to his channel and subscribe. Yeah, we filmed a video for my channel, and then we've also filmed something for his channel as well. So once you finish this video, I'll link the video to his channel just at the end of the video, so you can click on that and watch that. But yeah, we had a really good chat, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. Great, cool. Well, it's great to have you on the channel. So I just wanted to ask firstly how you initially got into investing in property, because I know it's something you've been, from watching your videos, I've seen that you've been doing it for a year or two, a couple of years. It's something you've definitely been interested in for the last few years.
Yeah.
Tell us about like what got you into it.
Yeah. So you're about right. So I probably flipped my mindset over to it about 2 years ago.
Okay.
It was only about 8 months ago that I think I bought my first property. It's probably a bit longer than that now, 9 months. Yeah, basically I'd got into property from quite a young age. It was either 16, 17 as an estate agent. I had actually gone to college and then kind of left early to become an estate agent. At the time, it was like 2009, 2010. So no one was employing estate agents, even then. So I'd gone to a few and they'd turned me down. So in the end, I worked for one for free for 6 months, because I was like, I know I want to be in property. I know I want to do it. So yeah, worked for free. Then they took me on as an apprentice. So I was an apprentice for a year or so, and then they kept me on, and I stayed there for I think about 2.5 years, and then moved on to other estate agencies. So yeah, to cut a long story short, I did estate agency for 7 years, but it was only really the end of estate agency that I would say I guess my mindset changed, in which I thought, actually, there's so many people that I see the same faces coming to buy projects, development projects, or invest in flats, and I thought there's got to be some good money in here, because these guys keep coming back to buy more. They're always dressed well, they've got nice cars, so that's when kind of, I guess, the light bulb switch happened. And then I started turning my brain into it, and actually realized that for me, being investing in property, it would be a good idea to perhaps leave the industry, because I was working a lot of 6-day weeks, 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. Most weekdays. And it was quite draining. Working for estate agencies in cities can be a very stressful job. So actually, I did leave that role to do more of a 9 till 5, and then I could put my spare time into property, basically.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you think, off the back of that then, do you think that, in fact, no, the first question is, how come you were willing to work for 6 months for free? Because that's a long time. I've heard people say, like, work a month to basically weasel your way into a job.
Yeah.
But 6 months is a long time. How come you decided to do that?
I guess, well, I knew I wanted to do property, because my granddad had been involved in the property world. He did some small developments, and so I knew that was the channel I wanted to go down. But I almost, from my own mind, just wanted to make sure that estate agency was the right thing for me. There's lots of different things you can do in the property industry, so I wanted to make sure that I enjoyed it. And because no one was employing or paying, I actually was quite happy to go, look, I really want to work for this local firm. There was one I had in particular in mind, that my family had used a lot over the years, and they were a local one. And I said, look, I know you're not hiring, you've told me that, but what if I just did 6 months? I get experience, and then I can, because basically what a lot of people were saying to me is, not only is it a bad market, we're not employing, but they're saying you have no previous estate agency experience. We find it hard to employ you when you've got no experience. But of course, what happens when you have no experience? You can't get a job. and it doesn't get any easier until you've got that experience. So I was like, right, I'm gonna just do it, and I'm sure if I
Graph.
prove my worth, then they'll take me on.
Yeah. I've obviously seen that you've got a deal or two on the go at the minute. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those and your experience with them?
Yeah. So I'm keeping my current one under wraps a bit, but I guess this is quite a good time to share a little bit. We're basically buying it is something we're going to move into, but we're buying a flip kind of project. So it's
Nice.
like an old lady's bungalow, and it's got plenty of scope to extend out the back and go into the loft. And yeah, really, I haven't shared any pictures or any info on it because I was hoping for it to get just a bit further down the line before, releasing too much on it. But
Yeah.
by buying that and living in it, we will, again, we don't know exactly what it would be, whether it be 6 months, 12 months, or maybe even be there up to 2 years. But certainly we're looking to buy it, add value, sell on at some point, and that will help us
Yeah.
get into bigger projects, and that will help us invest in more properties in the future by building up a bigger cash pot. And also
Yeah.
by living in it and being our residents, we can really capitalize on the fact right now there's no stamp duty,
Yeah.
and also in the future when we sell it, you're not paying capital gains tax. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely a benefit. It's something that my mentor suggested. He said if you've got the if you're willing to move house every couple of years,
Yeah.
then it's definitely worth doing. Just because, like you said, there's so many different tax benefits of it being your place of residence and where you live. If you're happy to move house regularly,
Yeah.
then it's a great thing to do. Awesome. And then you've got a buy to let at the minute.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Buy To Let in Liverpool.
Yeah, how's that going?
Good. Yeah, surprisingly well. So bought that in December last year, so 2019, and
Yeah.
tenants moved in January. And yeah, I mean, I've been very happy with them. They paid the whole way, the whole way through the pandemic, and been really impressed with them as tenants, and hope that continues. There's been a couple of bits and pieces that come up on maintenance, but that was to be expected, really. And yeah, if that can continue as it is, I'll be really pleased. And then looking to expand on that, in the coming year, really. So if I can ideally get this current project that we're working on buying, if we can get that underway and move into that, and then in the next 6 months I'll be looking to buy another buy to let. But I'm not rushing into that, because we've got what's going on down here, but also because I do think that change is coming in terms of, I'm not one of those big doom and gloomers, and I do think, think about buying property for the long term. So at the end of the day, a small drop never going to impact me too much. But I just think whilst I'm in the position where I can wait for a couple of months and then buy something, it could really play out quite well if the market was to dip over 2021. So
yeah, and you think that's going to happen?
I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I've put out predictions before and they've been very wrong. But given everything, what's going on in the economy right now and the market, there's a lot of suggestions, a lot of things to suggest, that, it will go that way once the furlough scheme ends. And, there's a lot of companies out there that have, utilised the bounce back loans and the C-bills. And once a lot of that kind of needs to be clawed back, and the government make up for that, then I think it'll be more like Q2 of 2021. That's when we'll really start to see a difference. I could be really wrong. So
I think that's the thing. And you're saying that you're going to wait until you've got a bit more clarity on what the market is doing before you buy.
Yeah, I mean, at least wait and see what happens the end of this year, so Q4 of 2020, and maybe just get a feel for January, February. And at the end of the day, even if I find a deal, when I start looking again properly, if I find a deal, even if it's not, I'm not sure what's going on, if the numbers stack, I'll buy it, because I am looking to hold it for 20 or 30 years at the end of the day. So
So something that's going to be a buy and hold,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter because in the long run,
Yeah. If the figures align
it's going to
out.
go up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And what about flips? Would you jump into a flip at the minute, or because I know you've got something on the cards, but in terms of with the potential of a drop, is that something that concerns you, or is it not?
It does a bit, but we're so flexible with our plans that, and
Yeah,
hence why I say I don't know if it would be a 6 month, a 12 month, or 24 month, because
yeah,
um, we can be flexible like that, and I can continue to grow my buy to let portfolio on the side, and then we can do this flip and live in it for a bit extra,
yeah,
time if the market was to downturn for a bit. But going forward, I'd love to do more projects, flips or small developments in the future. So if I was looking to do one of them right now, I'd definitely be very cautious.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm just finishing one up at the minute, and I don't know. Again, I'm not doom and gloom kind of person, but it feels like it's almost in the nick of time.
Yeah.
That it just feels like actually it was a really surprisingly good time. I thought that for the house that we're doing at the minute, that we would buy it and seriously be under pressure to turn it around quick.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, loads of things got in the way and delayed it a lot more than I thought. But that's not really been a negative because prices weirdly have gone up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is really strange. It is strange, but it's what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I saw you talking, I think it was on Instagram or on YouTube, you were talking about multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about that. Talk to me about what that looks like for you, what that means, and yeah,
It
your
just,
thoughts on that.
I guess this year more than ever. I mean, I've always been a big fan of. So like when I was saving for my buy to let, I had my job. I
Yeah.
did a 100% commission role in the evening where I didn't get paid any basic for. I'd do my day job and then I'd come home, and in the evening I'd cold call and speak to, some would be sort of relatively, lukewarm leads, and I'd speak to people in the evening and try and sell this sort of package for them. And that was kind of, again, it's because I like the opportunity to earn money from a few different places, and at that time I was very driven to save my deposit on my buy to let. So even once now that's done, I don't do that kind of 100% commission role in the evenings anymore. I still like the idea of having lots of different revenue streams, and for someone that's starting out and brand new, that literally might just be your day job, eBay,
Yeah.
something else. Now I quite like to, I always like to have my, I guess a few different things on the go. So, I've got my property, I've got my job, I've got a little business, also, YouTube now is turned into, a little bit of a business kind of thing in a way. And
Yeah.
not just in the sense that it puts you in touch with so many good people and as a form of networking, but also once you get to a certain point, it does start to pay. And I think there's nothing wrong with sharing that, because
Yeah.
I want to motivate other people to have a few different revenue streams, because not every month not every month in your day job is going to be a really good month in terms of pay. Not every month, if you're doing YouTube will be really good. Not every month in property will be really good, because you might have a big maintenance bill come up. So if you can have a few different revenue streams, I just think that you put yourself in the best position to not have a really disastrous month, because you've always got revenue coming in from somewhere. So, and I just like to keep busy as well, I guess. So
Yeah. Cool. We were talking just briefly over Instagram before this call about the cash flow quadrant.
yes.
So for anyone who doesn't know, the cash flow quadrant is a book by a guy called Robert Kiyosaki, who also wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which if you ask any person who's interested in property in any way has most likely read.
Yeah.
The cash flow quadrant's a book that follows on from that. And we were just talking about that. Do you want to just kind of share a bit about your thoughts around that? Because we were having a bit of an interesting conversation about that in terms of the the quadrant, I suppose, as a theory, but also how that practically works itself out. Hey guys, I realised just when I'm editing this video now, I realised that I didn't fully explain what the cash flow quadrant is. So just before Justin talks about that, I thought I'd quickly explain. The cash flow quadrant is a theory, or it's an idea that Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book, uses to talk about ways of making money. So it's split into 4 sections, and you've got the E, S, B, and I quadrant. So E is employed, S is self-employed, B is business owner, and I is investor. Okay, and essentially the way he describes it is that E is where you have a job. S is when you own your job. B is when you own a system that pays you regardless of whether you're there or not. And I is when your money, investor, is when your money makes you money back. And this book is all about changing your mindset from the employed and the self-employed mindset across to the B, business owner, and the investor mindset. I hope that helps. Back to the video.
Yeah.
So what's your kind of experience with that?
I mean, first of all, with the book, I hadn't read it previously because I've been reluctant to, because I thought it'd be so much like Rich Dad Poor Dad. I thought I'm not going to devote that time because I thought it'd just be another version of it in a written in a different format. But actually, a friend recommended it to me and said, look, with what I'm interested in, it really falls in line with that. So yeah, actually a really good book, and perhaps maybe even preferred it more than Rich Dad Poor Dad, or perhaps that's
really
gone from that now. And it's really, for me, it breaks it down, of course, into the quadrant of different types of person that's out there, and really for me, obviously someone should read it and then take this advice really, but for me, it's all about working your way into the B and the I quadrants, whereas right now I'm in the E quadrant, which is basically means that I'm employed, and on the side I'm in the I quadrant because I'm employed and I use my salary to invest in property on the side. And what really the book is about is building yourself to create a life around the fact that you want to build up a good business which generates cash flow, and then also invest that. So then you've got long-term assets and a business. And yeah, I guess that's really the long-term goal for me, is whilst I love my job and I'll continue to do it because A, I really enjoy it. B, it's really helpful when you're applying for mortgages to have a decent salary. I think a lot of time people try and leave their job too early, it might seem, and actually it can be quite useful to have the salary there when applying for mortgages. But yeah, if I can eventually transition over to the B and the I quadrant where I have a business and that's earning me money each month, and then I'm also investing on the side, into properties and other things that I have an interest in at that point. So
nice, cool. And I suppose as well, would you say that you're the YouTube side of things, just because it's something that we're both interested in and doing at the minute, would you say that YouTube is a business or is self-employed?
That's a good question. I think self-employed because it's just run by me. I've got no staff working on it, and it's just like a side hustle, really. You get a bit of money from it. I will share a video on that soon.
Cool.
And just because I like finances, I enjoy watching that when other people share it. So I thought I might share it so then other people, know what to work towards and what can be earned from it. So, but yeah, no, I think that's very much, it's a side hustle. And then anything from that, I actually put into my limited company along with a few other things that I have going in there because I want to invest it back into property. And in a way, I hope that will keep the channel growing because I'm taking any money I earn from it and reinvesting in property to then share that experience with everyone anyway.
It's almost like reinvesting to create more content.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like that. I never even thought about that, using the money that you get from YouTube to go into an investment company. That's cool. I like that. So what's kind of the plan for you moving forward? Because you've got a buy to let, you've potentially got a flip. What does it look like for you? What's the next 5 years? What's the plan in terms of your property investment?
So I just want to keep buying buy to lets. That's very much my model because they are, for want of a better term, as passive as an investment in property could hopefully be, probably. So I'd quite like to just continue buying 1 or 2 buy-to-lets per year over the next 5 years to try and work my way towards my goal, which was to kind of try and achieve £2,000 or £3,000 a month passive. And
Hmm.
then once I've, I guess, got what I want is quite a solid portfolio of, say, 10 houses. Because, and I would still continue to grow it, but that's what I want as my kind of basis. And that's why when I'm particularly, I think some people find it a bit odd that I'm so numbers driven when it comes to ROI, and that I'll walk away
Yeah,
from
yeah,
certain deals. And the only reason behind that is because I want each of those 10 houses to be, really bang on, and the numbers to work, and to not get to 10 houses and think, actually, that one's really rubbish, I'm going to sell it.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
get to around about 10 houses, and then that will hopefully bring me a reasonably passive income. And then I might start to, as I've sort of mentioned, like, look to do a few smaller developments or deals on the site. It'll probably start off, to be honest with you, with just one-off like bungalows and flips and things like that. But I'd really enjoy the thought and the aspect of doing small development sites of,
Yeah, yeah.
1 or 2 or 3 new builds or so.
Nice, nice. And do you think that so the deal, the buy to let that you've got at the minute, was that just a straight up, you put down a 25% deposit and you get a 75% loan to value, and that's it? Was it a buy refurb refinance? Was it, how did you go about getting that one?
Yeah, it was just a straight buy to let. I actually just put
Yeah.
down 20%.
Okay.
So I always thought it was 25%, and
Yeah.
for the most part, it always is.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I came to it, my mortgage broker he actually just threw kind of the idea out there and said, because he knew I wanted to buy more, he said, well, why don't you just keep a bit of cash back? At the moment, the banks are doing 80%
Yeah.
LTV.
Yeah.
And so, I thought actually didn't make too much difference to the monthly payment. I thought, why not? Let's set that up. So 20% in, I just bought it as a normal buy to let.
Yeah.
I guess with the distance and me being so new, I kind of wanted to take a smaller step and I guess get more of a straightforward buy to let, which is what that is, and get an experience for it, a feel for it, check it's what I really enjoy. And I think going forward, I would certainly be more inclined to buy something that needed a lot of updating and that I could add some value to, and try and next time around recycle money a bit quicker out of the property.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you do more of a buy refurb refinance next time round?
Yeah. I right now I think they're quite difficult to do in my investment area, and with the way the market is, I think they're quite
Yeah.
difficult to do. But certainly if if what happens in the market does happen, I think it may then become a little bit easier again.
Yeah. 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 No, I think as well, I read in the newspaper somewhere that values have started to down value properties. So yeah, it would just be a nightmare, wouldn't it? If you get something, do it up, and when it comes to the refinance, it's just not what you were expecting.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's difficult. I suppose it's similar with flips as well, but except you've got the added cash that you could at least pull out as like a just in case. That's cool. And did you save for you said you saved for your first buy to let?
Yeah. That's right.
How did you save? Because I think I get loads of people actually messaging me on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff saying like, oh, how do you get the money to invest?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, either you're given it or you work hard for it. And I know that you've worked really hard for yours. Like, what did that mean for you? Like for the however long that took to save?
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a really common question, isn't it?
Yeah,
And it's the biggest thing when it comes to property. There are
yeah,
things you can do out there to start with no money, but if you really want to buy an asset and like we are and kind of go down this route, then money is crucial when it comes to investing in property this way. So
yeah, yeah.
I 2016 to 2018, I think it was, I had a clothing business that I'd started, and
Okay.
so I built that from the ground, and got up to a reasonable level, and at some point in time, I basically had to decide, like, right, am I going to find an investor for this company? Are we going to really go for it? Or should I bail out now in a way, for want of a better term, bail out now, sell it, and actually chase down my real dream, which is property. So I did that, took that route, sold it. So I had a little bit of money from that. And then it was literally just saving as hard as possible. So being as frugal, earning as much as I could in my day job and from all the different side hustles I did, and then just living as frugal as possible, basically cut back on all my expenses, lived a quiet life for a couple of years, and I still do a quiet life, but so
it's hard, isn't it? Like for me, it's a mixture of I got given quite a bit of money, but then also it's like and even now, like people are like, oh, it's like they look at the fact that I'm doing a house flip at the minute and think that I've got all the money in the world, and it's like, actually no, you still like it's a continual until you've made it, whatever that looks like. You just have to. Part of getting the money is by just cutting out stuff, and it's like I suppose it's something that I always challenge people with. If you want to start buying houses, if you want to start investing in property, if you want to even just build a business and put as much money into that as possible, it just requires working hard and cutting out luxuries for a few years. Like that's just the reality of it. It's not really, there's no quick. A lot of people are teaching like the no money down or the rent to rents, and whilst they, for some people they work, I don't bother with that stuff. I think the best, like you said, the best thing to do is to buy and hold an asset. And if you want to do that, it requires money. And if you want money, it requires discipline.
I think assets are the best thing for long-term wealth. And you're absolutely right. It comes down to, when it comes to getting the money for that first one, it's delayed gratification, and it is living, almost a little bit less so that in the future you can live at a higher level. And it kind of ties back in with the cash flow quadrant. I have two thoughts on, and in terms of saving, if you just want to get to that first buy to let and you've got a good job, then I think just save really hard, put your time and effort into that job. If there's any opportunity for you, to earn more money at that job, do it, whether it's commission or whatever. Just live frugally and save. Or if you really believe in yourself and you've got an incredible work ethic, then, this is what ties in with the cash flow quadrant. It's what the book is about is creating a business that generates money to invest in property. So no matter how much money you save, once you've bought a property or once you buy number two, you always start running out of money, so if you have along the way created some form of business that can continually pump out cash flow to you, then you're going to find it much easier to continue saving properties, buying properties, and so on. So
do you have a business in mind that you're planning on building, or that you have at the minute that can work towards that, or is that something still to consider?
That's something still I'd love to do in the future. Again, when it comes down to, I've got loads of different like little side hustles, but nothing that's really I'd consider like a proper big business or anything. But I just have several different side hustles, and they all pay into my limited company, so then I can keep pumping up the money, and then look to buy another one, another buy to let. And then, as I mentioned, when I get to a certain point of passive income, I'd like to, as I say, do small developments, but I'd also love to just, try and actually own a few different businesses. For example, I absolutely love fitness. If you follow me on Instagram, anyone that follows will know that I go to the gym most days, most mornings. Not that I'm, it's just for health and for mindset reasons. But so I'd love, for example, to own a gym or something. I'm not saying I ever will, but that's something which I'd take pride in owning. Would love to own and have my own facility, and it's also another brilliant revenue stream and an earner to have as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm similar in that, like, it's probably a bit negative the way that I just get so excited about so many different things that I set up companies and set up businesses left, right, and center, or I at least have like proper ideas and invest so much time into researching things that probably is just wasting my time. I need to just like, so I've decided over the next couple of years to just focus completely on property,
Yeah,
and almost setting that up as my business. So
brilliant. Yeah,
personally, my model is going to be flipping houses
yeah,
and making that as passive as possible in
yeah.
terms of hopefully one day employing people to be buying the land, buying the deals, or finding the deals, someone to be managing the projects. And do you know what I mean? So it's as hands off for me as possible. That's
Brilliant.
the
Yeah,
dream one day. And then use that money to start investing and holding assets. But yeah, man, I get the what's it called? Is it called the shiny coin
like shiny
syndrome?
penny syndrome, or
Shiny, yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
it.
so
Just get
easy.
so
Yeah,
excited about different things. I think it's just like a lot
yeah,
of, I think a lot of people get it who are in property, because a lot of people who are interested in property are interested in entrepreneurial things,
yeah.
and just love starting new projects. I did this. Have you heard of like strength finders, or um, it's like one of those personality tests,
All right.
and one of those is something called activator, where basically you just love starting new projects. That's like me all over. I love starting new projects, and
Yeah,
it's hard to commit long term, but yeah, I love getting things up and running.
yeah.
Cool. So
A valid
yeah,
point though. Just to quickly touch on that, like
yeah,
that anyone that's watching, lockdown's been such an opportunity to learn
yeah,
about things like investing in property and or wherever you've learned. But what a lot of people now will do is go back to their job and then find that their attention's drawn away from it again. And
yeah,
sadly, that's just what happens in life, and other things will take priority. But if anyone's watching this and you can keep your attention there, it's having that. Yeah, I talk about having lots of different side businesses, but they're all of those. I don't know if you've mentioned, if you've heard me mention, they're all focused on buying the property. So
yeah, yeah,
if you can stay hyper focused on buying, whatever it is, but for me, buying properties, then I do think that wins overall in the end,
yeah,
by
yeah,
having such focus on one thing. So I think it'll be
yeah,
important for people to take what they've learned this year in their time off and keep it at the front of their mind, even when going back to more normal life.
yeah, yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think it's interesting because, like I said, I like starting new projects. I like doing new things. But the one thing that's always stuck for me is that I know I want to invest in property. That like I just know that that's what I want to do long
Yeah,
term. So it's interesting that you say that actually you can do lots of different things, but I suppose for you it's almost like a funnel. You're doing lots of things, but it's all coming down to actually it's to invest in property, and that's what you want to do long term. I think it's so true, because I think one of the things I've learned as well through lockdown, I've not been on furlough or anything like that, but I've worked from home,
yeah,
and it has taught me that like actually we can get so busy and get so carried away with things that aren't important, and so like a new way of viewing what it means to be disciplined, what it means to be focused on something. That's something I've massively learned over lockdown, and I think it's definitely something that if someone's watching this and has had the same, it's just like putting in the disciplines to keep that up, because it's discipline really that makes. I suppose it's like what I was saying about the saving money. It all comes down to how focused are you, how disciplined are you going to be, how much do you want it really,
yeah,
um,
absolutely.
and how long can you keep that up for? Because like we say, it's a long term thing. It's not just a quick fix,
No, yeah,
quick
long game.
solution. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So from your experience with your current buy to let and kind of everything that you've been learning and teaching, if you were going to give one of my viewers I'll stick to one piece of advice, what would it be? Because I get so many people asking so many questions, and it varies widely. Like, how do I come up with the money? Where should I invest? All this stuff. What if it came down to like one thing, or maybe two things? What advice would you give?
I just think that when you're brand new, there's so many things coming at you. Your mind's been blown by the opportunity to buy property, and you get so excited that
Yeah.
it's sometimes hard to sleep, and your mind racing and so on. But if you you want to do it tomorrow, and you want to want to buy the property tomorrow, you want to just get on with it. You don't want to wait for 6
Yeah.
months or a year because you've got to save or whatever. But if you can really drill down that this is a long game, this is a long-term thing, and those that are successful aren't the ones that have got it within 2 weeks or 1 month. Or so my bit of advice is just learn to love that journey of changing your life. So continually thinking about property, making it a vision, and then just self-educating yourself around that. So there are so many books on Audible, there's so many podcasts, there's so many videos on YouTube like this one, where you can learn so much, and you can pace it. So then, it is a long game. You learn to love the journey. You learn to just enjoy self-educating yourself through the different books. And, that's probably my greatest bit of advice, is just to actually enjoy the process of getting there, because otherwise you'll go insane trying to get it next week, so, in the long term, you'll end up worse off if you try and chase something down too quickly.
Amazing. That is the end of the interview, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having a chat with Justin to just find out more about him, and also just to hear about his thoughts and opinions on all those different topics that we just chatted about. Make sure that you go over and subscribe to his channel, Justin Wilkins. Type it in on YouTube, or click, there'll be a link somewhere around here to his channel. Go to his channel, subscribe. Really nice guy, as you've seen. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video. It'd be so great to have you as part of the journey. If you have any questions, comment them below. Make sure that you subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.